How is it possible that New York City is colder than Alaska right now? Not colder than northern Alaska. Colder than Anchorage, which is literally above freezing, while Manhattan is sitting at -15 wind chill. And how is it possible that just 2,500 miles away, Los Angeles is cruising at 68 degrees with blue skies and sunshine, like February is just a suggestion they decided to ignore? That's a 60-plus degree temperature gap from one side of this country to the other. And what's wild is this isn't even the headline, because what's coming this weekend is so much worse. A second Arctic blast is loading up over Canada right now that could crash temperatures 40 to 50 degrees below average across the entire eastern third of the country, and a major snow event is stacking right on top of it. We're talking tens of millions of people in the impact zone, stretching from the Ohio Valley all the way through New England. Over 1,500 schools already shut down. And it's about to get significantly worse. So today, we're breaking it all down coast to coast, city by city. Who's getting hammered? Who's getting buried? And who's out here vibing in spring-like weather for the next 7 to 10 days? And make sure you stick around to the end, because there's a mid-February pattern shift building right now that could change the entire game for the rest of winter. You do not want to miss that. All right, so here's what's actually causing all of this. The jet stream has buckled hard into a deep trough over the eastern U.S., and it's basically swinging the door wide open for Canadian Arctic air to pour straight down into the heartland and the East Coast. On the flip side, a massive ridge of high pressure is parked over the west, pumping abnormally warm air from the desert southwest all the way up through the Pacific Coast Phoenix in the low 70s. LA at 68, San Francisco above average in the upper 50s. And east of the Rockies, a stubborn Arctic air mass has been camped out over the Great Lakes and the Northeast for going on a week now, and it is not going anywhere anytime soon. So, when people say it feels like two completely different countries right now, they're dead serious. Two different weather worlds separated by about 1,000 miles, and the contrast is only getting sharper. Let's get into it region by region, starting with the folks catching the absolute worst of it right now. Northeast, this one's for you. New York City today highs around 28 to 30 degrees, which sounds survivable on paper until you realize overnight lows are dropping somewhere between 5 and 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's before you factor in wind chill. Skies are mostly clear, and the wind is light for once, so you get this tiny little break, but do not let that sunshine trick you. Step outside for 2 minutes, and it cuts right through every layer you've got on. Now here's the part that really stings today, is actually the mildest day you're going to see for a while, because by this weekend, another shot of Arctic air is expected to drop temps an additional 20 to 30 degrees from where they are right now. If that verifies, we're looking at single-digit highs and lows well below zero across upstate New York and Pennsylvania that would absolutely shatter daily temperature records in a whole bunch of cities, Boston and all of New England. Seriously, buckle up. You could see the coldest air of the entire winter this weekend, with wind chills potentially plunging to 20 to 30 below zero. For anyone who thinks that's just a number on a screen at those temps, sap inside trees freezes and expands so fast it literally cracks trunks wide open. They're called exploding trees, and that is not an exaggeration. That actually happens. Philly, you're in basically the same situation as New York. Maybe a degree or two colder overnight, and Buffalo. Syracuse. Y'all know the drill. Lake effect snow off Erie and Ontario is going to pile up quick with temps this low. D.C. and Baltimore. You're sitting on the southern edge of this whole thing, mid-30s for highs today. Cold for sure, but honestly, it's a different world compared to what's happening up in New England. Now let's slide over to the Midwest, because y'all are getting absolutely crushed too. Chicago today, highs only in the low to mid-20s. Maybe touching 32 if you're lucky. Lows tonight around -10 or colder. And the cruel part is the skies are going to be sunny and gorgeous all day. It looks beautiful out your window. But the second you step through that door, the cold smacks you like a freight train. There's no way to sugarcoat it. The entire Great Lakes region is just locked in this deep freeze right now. Cleveland, Detroit, Milwaukee, Indianapolis, wind chills pushing below -15 across the board. At those levels, frostbite risk is very real. We're talking exposed skin, freezing in as little as 15 to 20 minutes. So if you're heading out for anything, cover up every single inch you possibly can. Minneapolis and St. Paul. Even by your standards, this stretch has been rough wind chills dipping into the minus 20s. And schools are closing left and right across the entire upper Midwest. Kansas City, St. Louis. You're in that awkward middle zone. Not quite Chicago level brutal, but still cold enough that nobody's choosing to be outside unless they absolutely have to be. Alright, now let's completely flip the vibe, because down south and out on the West Coast, people are living in what honestly feels like a different dimension right now. Houston today, highs around 59 to 64 degrees. Lows in the 40s to low 50s. Light clouds, dry conditions, just a genuinely pleasant winter day. And if you're on your patio watching your Chicago friends complain on social media, yeah, that's gotta hit different. Dallas is a touch cooler. Mid-50s to low 60s, with lows in the mid-30s to mid-40s. A weak cold front slides through midweek, dropping temps 5 to 10 degrees. But it's a grab a hoodie thing, not a cancel everything thing. San Antonio. Austin. Y'all are in the same ballpark as Dallas. Mid-50s to low 60s. Dry. Maybe a little breezy. But overall, super chill in every sense of the word. And then there's Florida. Miami sitting at 79 degrees. Orlando around 74. Tampa in the upper 70s. Y'all are just out here living your absolute best life. And honestly, the entire country is watching with envy right now. Just a couple days ago, parts of Florida dipped into the mid-30s, which had people panicking. But that cold snap bounced out fast, and you're right back to that warm tropical comfort like nothing ever happened. Jacksonville is a little cooler, sitting around 70, but still gorgeous if you're planning any outdoor activities in the southeast this week. Today, through Thursday, is your golden window before things could shift. Now let's head out to the West Coast, because this is honestly where the flex gets absurd. And yeah, I'm using the phrase heat wave in the first week of February with a completely straight face. Los Angeles, sunny. Highs around 65 to 68, lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. And it's been like this for over a week straight. Just classic Southern California weather on loop, with that massive ridge acting like a dome of warmth. Phoenix is even warmer. Low 70s with crystal clear skies if nobody told you the date you'd genuinely swear it was April or May out there. San Francisco is in the mid to upper 50s, which is still above average. You might catch that classic morning fog rolling through the Golden Gate before it burns off, and San Diego is sitting at 66 with that perfect coastal breeze. Seattle and Portland. Y'all are in the low to mid 50s. Overcast like always with maybe a drizzle here and there. Nothing wild. Just doing your Pacific Northwest thing, as per usual. Denver is kind of caught right between both worlds, at around the low 40s, chilly for sure, but nowhere near the chaos that's happening further east. Just kind of watching from the sidelines. And here's the thing about this western warmth. It is not going anywhere for at least the next 7 to 10 days. The models are suggesting it could actually intensify as that ridge builds even further. So if you're out west and you've been loving this, soak it in. This pattern is holding strong well into the second week of February at a minimum. Okay, now this is the section where I really need everyone east of the Mississippi to lock in, because what's heading your way this weekend is on a completely different level than what you're dealing with right now. Remember how I said, what we're feeling today is basically just round one. Well, round two is loading up right now over northern Canada. And the models are showing a major Arctic surge pushing south starting Friday into Saturday. This one is being driven by a powerful low-pressure system developing near the Great Lakes. Think Alberta Clipper-type energy that is going to scream across the upper Midwest and slam straight into the Northeast with serious force. Friday morning, expect heavier snow pushing across Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, with the possibility of snow squalls. And if you've never been in a snow squall, picture going from partly cloudy to near zero visibility in a matter of minutes with heavy snow dumping sideways. Indianapolis, Columbus, Cleveland. You three are sitting right in the bullseye for Friday morning. So if you've got any kind of commute at all, seriously, start thinking about a backup plan right now. By Friday afternoon, that snow pushes as far south as North Carolina and Virginia. lighter by that point, but still maybe an inch or two on top of what those areas already picked up from last weekend's storm. Then, Friday night into Saturday is when things get truly gnarly across New England. Extremely strong winds on the backside of that low pressure system are going to howl across the entire region. With over a foot of snow already on the ground in most of New England, those winds are going to whip it all around and create legitimate blizzard-like conditions, reduced visibility, drifting snow, the whole 9 yards. By Sunday night into Monday, the Arctic air just settles in and sits over the Northeast. Some models are showing temps as low as 25 below zero in parts of upstate New York and near Pittsburgh. Monday morning, some models have temperatures running as much as 50 degrees below average in Pennsylvania. And if that holds, we are going to absolutely obliterate daily high and low temperature records across the entire region. That kind of cold is genuinely dangerous. No exaggeration, pipes freezing and bursting. Cars straight up refusing to start. Frostbite in minutes on any exposed skin if you're in the Northeast. Start preparing now, not this weekend. Now. In terms of snowfall, today's round is more nuisance level widespread, 1 to 3 inches from Indiana through West Virginia. Maybe a coating to an inch over Maryland and New Jersey. Nothing that'll shut things down. The bigger event is this weekend, most areas picking up a coating to 3 inches. But upstate New York and northern New England could easily see closer to a foot. And honestly, that's the conservative estimate. But the real story with this weekend isn't the snow totals alone. It's the triple combination of heavy snow, plus insane winds, plus bone-chilling cold, all smashing together at the exact same time. And that's what makes this so serious. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting there wondering, all right, after this cold snap passes, is that it? Is winter basically wrapping up? And the answer is absolutely not. Not even close. Models show temps bouncing back above average in the second week of February, which sounds nice. But here's the twist, that warm-up is actually setting the stage for something potentially much bigger. The polar vortex looks like it could destabilize right around mid-February. And when that thing loosens up, it tends to unleash massive shots of Arctic air that can fuel some seriously big winter storms. The La Niña pattern that's been shaping our winter is also weakening, which historically shifts storm tracks in ways that can produce some pretty significant late-season events. So the warmth might literally just be the calm before a much bigger storm. If you're someone who lives for big snowstorms, do not put those shovels away yet. The 3rd and 4th week of February could bring some genuinely wild stuff, and we'll be all over every bit of it. Now, before we wrap things up, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me where you're watching from and what it actually looks like outside your window. Are you layered up in the Northeast, questioning every life decision that led you there? Freezing your face off somewhere in the Midwest? Or are you out on the West Coast, sipping an iced coffee in sunshine? Like winter is just a rumor you heard online. And if there's a specific city or region you want broken down in detail next time, Nashville, Boise, Albuquerque, New Orleans, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, wherever, drop it in the comments. We try to hit as many as we can. Also, real quick for everyone dealing with this cold, what's your go-to survival move right now? Space heater cranked to the max. 5 layers minimum, just flat out refusing to leave the house until April. Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. Alright, so to wrap the whole thing up today is actually a relatively calm day across most of the country. No major storm systems to lose sleep over right this second. So enjoy the breather while it lasts. Because by Friday, this whole pattern cranks right back up heavier snow, stronger winds, and that second Arctic blast that is going to make everything we're feeling right now look mild by comparison. If you're anywhere in the Northeast or Midwest, start prepping. Now get your emergency kit stocked. Make sure your pets are inside where it's warm. And please check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. That part really matters. If this breakdown was useful to you, smash that like button so more people can actually see this forecast and have time to prepare for what's coming. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. We'll have a full update dropping as these models keep sharpening up over the next couple of days. Stay warm, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.